Evening, everybody. My name is Debbie Rocklin. I am the Director of Early Childhood and Admissions. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Rabbi Arthur Schneier Park East Day School virtual open house. Park East Day School is home to children ages 14 months through grade 8. We are located on Manhattan's Upper East Side on East 68th Street. Our early childhood children are predominantly from the Upper East Side, and our kindergarten, primary grades, middle school, and junior high students come from all over Manhattan and some from Queens. One of the most important questions facing parents who are selecting a school for their children is why school A and not school B? With so many appealing options to choose from, you may be wondering why Park East? We help students develop into thoughtful, curious young adults with a lifelong passion of learning. We're going to share how the rigorous academics, award-winning curriculum, and nurturing, supportive environment of our school community make it an educational gem. Let's take a glimpse into our world with this short video. We'll follow the video with a panel discussion of frequently asked questions. If you have any additional questions during the presentation, please put them into the chat. For now, please sit back and enjoy. Hi, welcome to Park East Day School. My name is Debbie Rocklin. I'm the Director of Early Childhood and the Director of Admissions. Come, let's take a tour.
Park East is not only an academic institution, it's an institution that exudes warmth, of Yiddishkeit, of Jewish values. It embodies all of the sentiments that range from emotional, social connection and fostering an environment that transforms little lives into really quite remarkable young adults.
The goal of Park East is to make the world a better place, one student at a time.
We begin with Taste of School. They're 14 months old. Then we have our toddlers all the way through grade 8.
Coming home from school as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old in pre-K, they're beaming. They are absolutely excited to tell you what they've learned about, who they played with, what they ate for lunch.
Watching them grow, watching them develop, watching them think, watching them start to talk makes me feel that every day I have a purpose.
Loving,
kind,
sweet,
Family.
Warmth.
Park East, it's a small school, so it makes me feel like I'm part of a big family and makes me feel like this is a second home.
Park East is different than a bigger school because it's very warm and you know everybody there, so you feel safe here.
The overarching piece, the umbrella that holds it together, is that it's a family.
Your children are known, they're understood, their experience is cared about, and that each and every child very much has a place.
I'm very happy I came to Park East. It's just like my second home.
It's the warmth, it's just the inviting nature, it's the energy of the teachers, it's the quality of the building, and all of the assets together really create a home environment for a child to be able to learn and to grow.
All right, Charlotte's gonna get to pick 2 colors this time.
Okay, this apple is a
Park East.
The teachers at Park East are really nice and they really care for every single student.
They really connect with the students on a more personal and even emotional level.
Our general studies teachers are all licensed, they're all experienced. Our Judaic studies teachers are all experienced.
The teachers make the classes fun and interesting, and they give assignments that make it interesting and make it like I want to learn.
The teachers at Park East enable children to be comfortable, to be real thinkers, to feel confident.
Welcoming,
Friendship,
happiness,
Positivity,
Nurturing,
academic.
Academics at Park East are amazing. They are challenging in a good way. What I find that's really powerful is that the teachers really are pushing for these kids to stretch and grow, but they're also supporting along the way.
No matter where they start or where they end, every child feels like they succeed. And as a teacher and as a parent, that's everything.
I'm a reporter for the New York Times, and I would just say, as exciting as it is to have a front page story, when my kid gets 100 on her spelling exam, I think that's more important.
You can have a rich general studies education in every area and still have a strong, wonderful, vibrant, joyous Jewish education.
There's always this passion that this is where we come from, this is who we are. The teachers definitely convey that, and because of their excitement, I think that students are also excited to learn the Torah and Chumash and Navi and all the Jewish studies.
Very important for kids to get a Jewish education together with the secular education. This is very, very important.
My eyes are looking straight ahead. I'm ready for the hall. All right, let's follow Ben to the playroom.
The students at Park East are extremely caring, they're kind, they're friendly.
The children learn that they learn from each other, and everyone has something of value to share.
The kids at Park East are so sweet and they're so welcoming and really nice.
Kids who graduate from an environment like this very much carry what they've learned, and it has very much shaped who they've become.
People should definitely come to Park East because it's very good with education and they have amazing teachers and amazing people.
There's no learning experience like Park East, and you will watch your children grow and succeed like you never could have imagined.
If you want a great Jewish and secular education in a warm environment, tolerant and diverse, Park East is the place to go.
Let me introduce this evening's panel. We have with us Barbara Etra, Principal, Dr. Sherry Weiner, Director of Student Services, Chrissy Packles, General Studies Teacher and Parent, Joy Avitan, Judaic Studies, Kindergarten Teacher and Parent, Sarah Rosenbaum, Judaic Studies Teacher, Anna Braun, alumna, and Judah Deitch, an 8th grader. Mrs. Etra, how is love of learning transmitted and developed throughout the grades?
Good evening. Children are born with a natural curiosity. They want to explore, discover, and experiment. They want to make sense out of their world. This is true of children of all ages, not just preschoolers. But this incredible sense of wonder is intensified in the toddler and preschool years. At Park East Day School, we want to make sure that this sense of wonder, this curiosity, this desire to learn continues throughout, even when they're teenagers. There are 3 basic ways that we help transmit and develop a love of learning to children of all ages, from toddlers through teens. The first is our teachers. They are passionate educators. They're knowledgeable in child development. They're well-versed in teaching methodology. They have a tool belt, a metaphoric tool belt. On it is methodology, curriculum materials, pedagogical techniques. They are passionate. They are educators. They're idealistic. They want the children to grow and learn. They remember to smile. They're warm. They always have a good word. Most importantly, they know how to make connections to your children. It's the personal connection that makes a child want to please and to learn. An excellent teacher creates magic through charisma and personal connections. And this is part of the recipe to create a love of learning. So first, we have teachers. The second most important ingredient is the environment. You've heard already, we're nurturing, we're positive, we're collaborative, we're really not competitive. It's okay to take a risk. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to try again. It's okay to keep trying till you figure it out and master the problem and find a solution. Friends are very, very important. The key is socialization. They have to be comfortable. They have to want to learn, feel comfortable in their environment. They have to know they're safe. This positivity becomes contagious. The third element, so we have teachers and we have environment. The third element is emotional quotient, EQ, which has been found to be even more important than IQ, which is academic potential. What is EQ? It's the social and emotional aspects of learning. Does the child have grit, motivation, perseverance? That's what makes a child learn. Nothing inspires success like success. And a love of learning grows when a child achieves mastery of a skill and confident, and then they can go on to the next challenge. From 2s to teens, the desire to learn, the confidence to learn, enhances the love of learning. It's the nature of children who feel loved and secure to flourish and grow cognitively, emotionally, and socially. Why Park East? Because that's what we do.
Mrs. Etra, how does a child learn how to learn and become a student?
Great question, Debbie. It all begins with language development. And of course, language development is a critical part of our curriculum in early childhood. It goes throughout the grades on different age and grade appropriate materials. There's expressive language and there's receptive language. Expressive is what we say and what we write. Receptive is what we hear and what we read. Our preschool curriculum emphasizes language development from the beginning of comprehension and speech to reading and writing throughout the grade levels. Now, there are other skills that can be taught. Some children know them intuitively, but some children really need to be taught, and all children benefit from them. We teach attentional skills, how to improve focus. We teach how to improve auditory memory, visual memory. We teach organizational skills, even with our babies, all the way to our teens. We teach critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills. And a 2-year-old does that on their level, just like a teenager will. These skills can all be taught and enhanced. We begin teaching study skills even at a very young age. So how does a child learn how to learn? The child needs foundational skills. What are the foundational skills? Focus, attention, memory, language, but it has to be rich with cognitive stimulation of experiences, information, hands-on activities and projects. And all of this must be fun. It has to be stimulating. It has to be interesting. The child has to relate to it. And this helps contribute to creating a lifelong learner.
Mrs. Etra, what does a typical day look like in early childhood and for the students, kindergarten through grade 8?
That's a question everybody asks on every tour that either Debbie or I give around the building. Let's start with the school hours. You want to know what they are. So basically, if you are a parent of a toddler, and I know there are some toddler parents out there, there are 2 options for you. There's a 3-day-a-week option or a 5-day-a-week option, and they each go from 9 to 12. By that time, they're really tired, everybody. From Monday to Thursday, the nursery 3s go from either 9 to 12 or 9 to 2. Pre-kindergarten is 9 to 2. Kindergarten through grade 4 are 8:15 through 3:45, and grades 5 to 8 are from 8:15 to 4. Friday's a little different. Toddlers still get out at 12, but nurseries, pre-kindergarten and kindergarten end at 1:15, and the grades end at 1:30. And this happens all through the year, not only when we have an early Shabbat. The next part of your question was the day look like, but let's talk about how it's divided. In early childhood, there's no division into set periods. There's no Judaic studies section and there's no general studies section. The day flows
through thematic units. And there's an integration of Judaic and general studies, mostly around the holiday and the school calendar. In addition to that, in preschool, there's a rich language arts, math, science, social studies curriculum, as well as a very beautiful, joyous Judaic studies curriculum of tefillah, Torah stories, laws and customs, and Hebrew language. It changes when a child reaches first grade, and you sort of have a different kind of division. There's a half day and a half day. It's divided between Judaic and general studies. And what the children love the most are the specials. And our little ones have them as well. Art, music, gym, computer, library, dance, chess, integrated throughout the week. There's always something fun, something different to look forward to. One of the benefits of having an early childhood center within an elementary school is that the early childhood students can take advantage of a fully equipped facility, as well as skilled, licensed teachers. We share our gym, computer lab, art studio, and library with early childhood and the grades. Early childhood students are taught by the same specialists as the grades teachers. This is just a rough sketch. So for specific grade levels and how it plays out, that we'll talk about when you come in or we speak to you again on another tour. Debbie.
You know, I often get a question about how separation is handled in early childhood. So when I speak to prospective toddler parents, it's usually the top on their list. If the toddler has already experienced separation in a prior program, the transition to a new school usually takes about a day or two. For children who have not had a real school experience before coming to Park East, separation usually takes a good 3 weeks. We start off in 2 small groups for a short amount of time. And then as the days progress, we add on more hours to the toddler's school day. We also put the 2 groups together as the days go on. Separation is like learning. Each child does it when he or she is ready. If a child is having trouble separating, we usually ask the parent or caregiver to remain with the child for a bit longer. It is important to us that the child is comfortable and that the separation is calm and natural. The last thing we want is for a child to be so upset that it gets in the way of the rest of the class's learning and growth. It is important for both the child and the adult to trust us and feel comfortable. That is why Park East. Chrissy, I'd like to ask you a question. As a teacher and as a parent, let me ask you, why Park East for the grades?
Well, so my children both started in Taste of School, and we came for the warmth of the early childhood program. And we stayed for the grades because we couldn't leave. My kids were so happy. They were learning so much. They were so confident that leaving was no longer an option for us. Academically, they've learned to be students. They've learned how to study, manage their time, work independently, become responsible, think critically, and they really love learning. They're now in 6th and 7th grade, and they truly enjoy the academic experience. On top of that, they've been able to maintain extracurricular activities. They're both competitive swimmers, and they're able to do both the academics of the dual curriculum and other things that they love. But Park East is not just, the grades is not just about the academics. It's about really an education in life. My kids have learned to be a friend, to love their friends. They care deeply about others. They have learned to be responsible citizens, help those who are less fortunate, and how to communicate effectively with their peers and adults. And these are values and skills that I can't put a price on. We have been so happy.
Thank you, Chrissy. Joy, I'd like to ask you the same question as a teacher and as a parent. Why Park East for early childhood?
Oh, sorry. For the warm, nurturing environment and for the fabulous Judaic curriculum that teaches the love of Shabbat and the holidays and the brachot and Israel.
Thank you, Joy. Anna, as an alumna of Park East and current student in Ramaz, did you find yourself well prepared for high school?
For sure, completely. No doubt about it. I mean, first and foremost, educationally, Park East really taught me not only that school is about having to learn, but about wanting to learn. And that every day that I would go to school, I was excited to learn. And that completely changed the picture of school and completely changed how I approached learning. And so from that, it motivated me, to be able to want to study and to form a relationship with my teachers and to really try and delegate for myself and to, just really care about school and about my teachers.
Anna, when you become a parent someday, God willing, would you consider sending your child to Park East and why?
I mean, okay. I went to Park East for 10 years. For 10 years, it was my home away from home. And so it's a huge part of who I am today and who I grew to be. And so I would want the exact same thing for my children, to be able to care about people and to care about education and all of that. I would for sure want that for my children.
Thank you, Anna. Judah, Park East Day School is boutique by design. What are some of the advantages of being in a small school?
Well, first of all, I love being part of an extended family. At Park East, there is a high teacher to student ratio, small class sizes, and help when you need it, and tons of friends of all ages throughout the school. In particular, I love the Big Brother, Big Sister program, where students in grades 6 through 8 are paired with pre-kindergarteners and kindergarteners. And through the Big Brother, Big Sister program, we work together with them once a month on Rosh Chodesh on reading, doing puzzles, and arts and crafts. And we do this all with them. It's all together. And best of all, we have a little brother or sister who looks up to us, and we feel responsible for them throughout the whole year that we have them.
Thank you, Judah. Thank you very much. Joy, how does Park East develop in its students a sense of Jewish identity, heritage, culture, and values?
Okay. As a teacher, there is nothing more important than teaching a child the love for his or her Jewish identity. I have taught first grade and kindergarten, and in kindergarten, we are using the Quran Siddur, where we teach the love of tefillah, of prayer, through teaching them the meaning of each prayer. And in first grade, the children receive their own first Siddur, and they have a beautiful Siddur party.
Thank you. Morasara, same question for you. How does Park East develop in its students a sense of Jewish identity, heritage, culture, and values?
Hi, everyone. So we learn through the text. So we learn Chumash, we learn Navi, the prophets, the Bible, we learn it in the text. They see it coming alive as we learn it. We teach it dramatically, so they really get a big sense of as if they're living through it, and the excitement of learning Torah. We teach also in Hebrew, so we have the language aspect. We also teach about the holidays and general Jewish knowledge. and different values that we learn from the Torah and the Torah stories.
Thank you. Mrs. Etra, what is unique in Park East in terms of curriculum from early childhood through grade 8?
Basically, when we have a school which is from toddler through teen, we take a concept or a skill and we either teach it from the bottom up or the top down. When you know what the end product is supposed to look like, you build your scope and sequence of skills and content based on where you're trying to get. And we do this all the time in STEM activities, in all kinds of math and science fairs, in teaching Hebrew, of themes of the year. There's a flow of information. There's a flow of interdisciplinary units, hands-on projects, and all kinds of stimulating fun activities which guide the children from one grade level to the next. We know where they're going and we know how to get them there. And we're always looking one step ahead to say, okay, what's next? And what do we have to do to get from point A to point B?
Thank you. Dr. Weiner, how does Park East Day School handle learning challenges and support services?
Hi, first of all, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. The role of support services is to help children who may be experiencing difficulties at school with various issues, including, but certainly not limited to social, emotional, or educational issues. At school, we offer short-term counseling that's provided to students and their families to help with social and emotional issues. And when it's needed, we also offer crisis intervention. Academics may pose more of a challenge for some children than for others. Sometimes those challenges need just a little bit of extra help. If a child's struggling on a chapter in social studies or a chapter in math, they just need a little help to get them by. But for some, the challenges may be more significant and require additional interventions. Some children who have learning disabilities or difficulties need support services such as See It services or SET providers, occupational therapy, perhaps speech and language for expressive and receptive language issues. At Park East, we work very closely with our parents because our parents are our partners. And when we feel it's appropriate, we guide the parent through the New York City Department of Education process in order to help them receive an educational evaluation, which then we hope will determine the source of the child's difficulty, as well as providing us proposed remedies. There are excellent services available to our children from the New York City Department of Education. We select the Department of Education providers who work in our building and under our supervision. My role at Park East is to be your child's advocate, to make sure that your child receives every service that will make learning easier for them and your child happier and more successful. One of the things that, among many, that we believe in is important is that support services be provided during your child's school day when attention is at an optimum level and students aren't too tired to reap the benefits of those services. And I think lastly, and perhaps most important for all of us to remember when we talk about support services, is that even though learning disabilities and difficulties may not be curable, we can teach children the correct skills and the strategies to compensate for their disability and achieve success.
Thank you. Mrs. Etra, how do we educate the gifted and talented child?
How I wish I could take each one of you viewing this evening on a special tour, just to walk with me or with Debbie into our classrooms and down our hallways. You would see the wonderful, beautiful children that we have. Each one of our children has a gift. Each has a talent waiting to be identified, cultivated, and enjoyed. There are children who are tested and classified as gifted and talented via IQ or specialized testing. This is usually a very small percentage of any given population. The gifted child is provided the stimulation of enriched content, projects, and challenges, which when appropriate are shared with the entire class. All of our early childhood and primary grade students are taught in fluid learning groups in language arts and math. A child may be very strong in one area and weak in another, and that's okay. The gifted child has a program catering to specific areas of strength or interest. It is extremely important for this child to remain part of a learning cohort so that he socializes with his friends and is allowed to be a child and not just a prodigy. In our older grades, we level, we have to track, particularly in math, language arts, and Hebrew language. And even within these smaller groups, there is a gifted learner. There will be gifted learners. And they need to have enrichment materials so they are not bored. They can be part of the group and enrich not only their education, but everyone else's. Why Park East? Because we know about individual learning styles. We know what needs to be done. No one should ever be bored, and everyone should always be stimulated.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEAM when we add in art. These are subjects taught in early childhood through the grades. Why are Park East students so enamored with these subjects, Mrs. Etra?
Because they're just so much fun. We even do science fairs, or what we call science fairs, with our 2-year-olds. We call them the peekaboo fairs, of what happens when you mix two colors, where did they go? Or what happens when you plant a seed and you can't see it and suddenly something else is there. Basically, STEM is fun. Science, technology, and engineering and math are all interdisciplinary, and they're very enriching. Our children are taught at every grade level to figure out a need or a problem, come up with a hypothesis or a possible solution, experiment, draw conclusions, build a prototype or a model, and evaluate results. This can be done in early childhood when children decide to build a farm. This can be done in early childhood when children decide they're going to build a tower and have to figure out how to make it so tall and not fall down. And of course, it becomes more and more sophisticated as we go up in the grades, and everything is taught and presented in age and grade appropriate manners.
Mrs. Etra, where do Park East graduates go to high school?
We have graduates all over the city. Our children go to the leading high schools everywhere. We have children whose parents want different high schools for their children. Some only are interested in Jewish high schools, and we have children in all of the premier high schools in our city. We have children in Ramaz and Heschel, SAR, Frisch, North Shore, to name just a few. There are so many wonderful schools to which they can go. We're known for math and science. We're award winning. And because of that, our children go and enter into and achieve acceptance to this quote Sci-High schools, Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, the City University of Math and Science, and other schools such as those. And then we have children who are in the elite public schools. For example, Townsend Harris, which is a school for gifted and talented in Queens, Bard, Eleanor Roosevelt, which is the premier public high school on the Upper East Side, to name just a few. The most important thing is that the parents have their children go to the schools that they're comfortable with and the schools of their choice. And you're going to see that once your children reach high school, they have a very big say in where they think they want to go. And we always listen to that as well.
Thank you. So to my panelists for the evening, what is Park East's secret of success? Anna.
I would say very dedicated, wonderfully dedicated teachers that are passionate about what they teach and spark interest in students to learn because of that.
Thank you. Chrissy.
definitely the amazing students and family who come together to make the Park East family.
Joy, what is Park East's secret of success?
We are part of the Park East Synagogue community with integration of Lador Vador.
Judah, Park East success.
That every student is important here. We're all integral members of an extended family.
Morisara.
Park East is the ideal learning and teaching environment. Parents are our partners in their children's education.
Dr. Wiener, why Park East?
Why Park East? That's easy. It's a place where nurturing of self-esteem and self-confidence of each child is as important as their academic success.
Mrs. Etra, why Park East?
I always think in terms of safety, and Park East is a very safe place. We have an outstanding security force. We're safe in terms of health and hygiene in the middle of a pandemic. We're safe in terms of our students' social and emotional well-being and growth. We're safe in terms of teaching our children that they can be risk takers, problem solvers, and always find a solution in conflicts. We're a safe environment, and that makes us a wonderful place to be.
Why Park East? Park East is home. We can't wait to welcome you to the family. Please be sure to contact me to follow up on your questions. Applications for fall 2021 should be submitted online through our website at parkeastdayschool.org/apply. The deadline is December 31st. You will be getting a follow-up email from me, and we can discuss any questions you may have. For those of you who already have sent an application, we can set up a meeting to discuss next steps. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a good night.